Welcome back to my channel Daily Learner. In today's video lesson, we shall discuss about Union Executive Part 3. In this lesson, we will discuss about power of the Indian President. So now we shall discuss about executive power, legislative power, financial power, judicial power, and diplomatic power of the President of India. In the next lesson, we shall discuss about emergency power of the Indian President. Now, we shall discuss about power of the President of India. First of all, we shall discuss about executive powers. Article 53 of the Indian Constitution deals with the executive power of the Indian President. You know, or we have already discussed that the President is the head of the Union Executive, or he is the Chief Executive of India. All the executive powers of the Union government are vested with the President. But the President exercises all the powers on the advice of the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. All executive and administrative decisions are taken in his name. Now we shall discuss about executive power. First, appointment making power. The President makes important appointment of the Union government. The President appoints the leader of the majority party of the Lok Sabha as the Prime Minister. He appoints all ministers on the advice of the PM. He also appoints Attorney General, Comptroller and Auditor General, the Chairman and members of the Union Public Service Commission, Election Commission, Finance Commission, governors of all states, Chief Justice and judges of the Supreme Court and High Courts, ambassadors and High Commissioners to different countries. These are the important appointments are made by the President of India. You know, the President is the nominal head or head of the state or titular head of India. He made all these appointments on the advice of the PM or Union Council Minister headed by the Prime Minister. Next is the Supreme Commander. At the head of the state or as the Chief Executive of India, the President is the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces of India. He is entitled to declare war. He also appoints chief of three armed staffs like Air Force, Navy and Army. Next is the legislative power. Or according to Article 79 of the Constitution, the President is an integral part of the Parliament. He has the following legislative power. First is the summons prorogues session of the Parliament under Article 85 of the Indian Constitution. The President shall summons prorogues the session of both houses of Parliament. If necessary, he can dissolve the Lok Sabha by himself or by advice of the Prime Minister. Under Article 108 of the Constitution, he may summons joint sitting of both houses of the Parliament. Next is the address of the Parliament. The President may address either or both houses of Parliament. He addresses the first session of Lok Sabha after general election and joint session of Parliament beginning of each financial year. Next legislative power is power of nomination. The President nominates two members from Anglo-Indian community to the Lok Sabha if this community is properly not represented. He also nominates 12 members to Rajya Sabha from the persons having distinct position in the field of science, literature, art, technology, social service, etc. etc. Next is the ascending the bill. Under Article 112, the President enjoys the power to ascend the bill passed by the both houses of the Parliament. A bill passed by both houses of Parliament requires the assent of the President in order to become law or an act. He may give his assent to the bill or can withhold assent when a bill, after getting approved in the both houses, is placed before the President. If the Parliament reapprove the bill for the second time, the President has to assent the bill or sign the bill. Next is the ordinance making power. The President promulgates ordinance of the Union Government. Article 123 says that if the President feels that a law is urgently required but the Parliament is not in session, he can promulgate an ordinance. Ordinance remains in force till not more than 6 weeks from the commencement of the next session. If it is ratified by the Parliament, it becomes law, otherwise it ceases to exist. Next is the financial power. The President of India enjoys some financial power. No single rupee can be spent from the national exchequer without consent of the President of India. The budget will be introduced by the Finance Minister in the Lok Sabha on the consent of the President. He appoints the Finance Commission in every 5 years for distribution of resources between centre and states. He is the custodian of Contingency Fund of India, and he spends money from this fund when during the time of natural disaster, calamities, and any urgency situation. Next is the judicial power. The President enjoys some judicial power. He has the power to or right to grant pardon, reprieve or respite or reduce, remission and suspension of commutation of a sentence by any court of law. He can grant pardon in case a convict is awarded to the death sentence by the federal court or the court of martial. Next is the diplomatic power. The foreign policy and relation is conducted in his name or concluded in his name. All international treaties and agreements are signed in the name of the President. The President appoints ambassadors and High Commissioner on behalf of India to other countries. Foreign ambassadors or High Commissioners are accredited or received by the President of India. This is the diplomatic power. In next video lesson, we shall discuss about the emergency power of the President or emergency provisions under the Indian Constitution. Thank you very much.